Hi-Fi Rush, Enra, and now Genokids. It's barely even summer and 2023 is shaping up to be a good year for the greasy unpopular kid that is the spectacle fighter genre. And while I love the previous two I mentioned, Genokids I feel has the best combat between the three of them, and compared to the genre I'd say it's only bested by DMC5 and Devastation, which admittedly are personal favourites. For the past 48 hours this demo's been live, I've just been playing it over and over again. Visuals and audio are amazing in all aspects. Music slaps, cutscenes are fun, UI is unintrusive, and I'm praying for an option in full release to disable certain elements, as I've been playing DMC5 with just the style meter thanks to the collab cheat trainer, and it is a treat. Alright, meat and potatoes, combat. You take control over two characters, Blue and Red. Blue wields a sword with swift, low damage attacks, where Red has gauntlets that unleash slower, powerful hits. Both have a dodge roll that can block if you press the dodge button without moving. Blocking is pretty interesting in this game, as blocking one attack will also block any following attacks if it's part of a string. Their passive differences are Blue has less commitment to their moves, meaning they can block and dodge out of them faster, than Red, who does more damage and therefore builds flow faster. Flow is your resource for your special moves, which, credit where it's due, I love how specials that have similar traits between characters are mirrored in their input mapping. For example, both characters' ranged specials are mapped to the left face button. Gap closers are on the right, launchers top, and the bottom is the character's respective super move. Each flow move costs a specific amount, with Red's costing a little more than Blue's. This isn't as much of a restriction as it sounds, as you get flow from almost all your actions, attacking, dodging, swapping, anything, including flow attacks themselves. These flow attacks can be upgraded with this game's several trigger alternative, Hype. Hype enhances all characters, granting passive health and flow generation, as well as boosting your flow moves, like adding additional projectiles or extending moves for more damage. There are also character-specific buffs. Red's charge attacks become almost instant, drastically boosting your damage output and flow generation. Blue, in tandem with the passive flow generation and their low flow cost, can unleash several flow attacks, such so to the point that you can chain Blue's stinger move into itself near infinitely. The cherry on top of this proverbial cake that is Genokids' combat system is the tagging. When you tag out, the character doing so will finish whatever animation they're in the middle of before disappearing. When it comes to what you're fighting, Genokids offers a conventional albeit satisfying selection of enemies. You're starting with regular cannon fodder, but will quickly become acquainted with flying enemies with ranged attacks to look out for, on top of enemies with unblockable attacks in their arsenal. But the boss is what takes the spotlight. Dubbed Valkyrie, this boss that finishes the demo really makes me hopeful for what Genokids will offer at release. You see, in spectacle fighters, bosses often take on one of two attributes. Either they're the same size as you and can be juggled alongside some combo break mechanic, or so big that they'll just tank your hits as a punching bag the size of a small house. Valkyrie is a mix of these, as they tank your hits and perform their own attacks as you're doing yours, but their position will be influenced by your moves. So if you hit them with a launcher, they will rise accordingly, minus the hit stun lesser enemies will take on. I love this, as it really encourages the player to be aggressive while being mindful of what their hitting is also capable of.